Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome into another edition of Feed the Bears, where I do my job to feed you, the Bears, the best content that we can give you. And hey, man, I'm here today. I'm so sorry for being late today, but I had to try to catch up on some of my yard work I had going on. And I did have some adversity today because lawnmower go boom today. It just went dead on me, man. 3/4 into the job, the thing went dead. So my whole backyard is complete. Probably 3/4 of my front yard looks like somebody remedial lives in this house and doesn't know anything about cutting grass, and it's terrible looking. And so I got to figure that out. Got to figure out my lawnmower situation because I hate having an unkept or untidy looking yard, and it's just not good out there. And yeah, so that's why I'm late, man. I'm so sorry today, but I had to go try to take care of some of that. You don't want, especially with all the rain we've been getting recently, you do not want your grass to get out of hand on you because it's just extra labor. Especially I don't use a driving lawnmower. I don't do it. I could have one, but I choose to use a push lawnmower for the workout aspect of it. You know, it's good to get out there, get your blood pumping and sweat. It's good for you. Get them toxins out of your body and all that good stuff. But welcome in, you guys. Let me shout out everybody I see in the chat so far. My guy Crimson again, #1 in the chat. Holla at you, man. Holla at your boy Crimson. Liberty's Outlook #2 up in here. Let me see. Cloud Chasers Radio #3. Squeegee #4. Shout out to Squeegee. And my guy, Supernova Maniac Joseph Archer, is in the building. Man, listen, I got a chance to check out some video on Twitter. Not take that back. I did not see any video on Twitter. I did see a few podcasts and a few people putting stuff out on Twitter. I have not seen any video on Twitter as of yet. And I haven't had time to, as a matter of fact, but, getting a lot of reports, getting a lot of people giving, kind of filling in the blanks for us on the outside, trying to help us see what's going on inside the practice. And, from all reports, it sounds like the offense took a little bit of a step today. And that's good news to hear because 3 days in a row of struggling offense. And I'm not saying that they didn't struggle again today. I'm sure they did. But it's good to hear that they're taking steps, man. They're taking a step at least and starting to get to where they need to be. It is, listening to Ben Johnson at his presser today, talking about Caleb Williams and talking about the team, talking about the offense, and they're not having to coach the fundamentals as much as they had to at the very beginning, like in the OTA process, and now at the very beginning of training camp, and they're actually coaching the football stuff up. And me talking about the operational part of, stuff that you don't want to spend a zillion years and a zillion hours in a day having to work on basic stuff like pre-snap stuff and, getting out of the huddle on time, getting to the line of scrimmage, timing aspects of, the operational part of football. I can hear from what Ben Johnson is saying. I just got through looking at some of CHGO's podcast, Adam Hogue, and my guy Carm was, they were trying to break it down the best that they could. The operational part of the Bears practices are going a little bit better for the offense. Now, some of the reasoning why you've been hearing bad stuff coming out of the offense so far is partly due to, if you listen to Ben Johnson's presser today, he talked a little bit about how him and Dennis Allen got together and they kind of planned up and schemed up what to do to the offense to kind of basically give him hell. It's basically what he said. So he in that low red zone periods they were doing the last couple of days, they were amping up pressures on Caleb Williams, which is having them struggle, was making them struggle. But that's a good thing. I know it's like at some point, you want to, like today. I can imagine today they backed off a little bit of those pressures because they did third down situational stuff, short yardage stuff, third and long and all those kinds of things. And they probably backed off the pressure. a lot in this practice, and it probably looked a whole lot better once they did that. And so I think putting 2 and 2 together from what I'm hearing, that's basically what's going on out there today. But we'll get into a little bit of detail as to those things I just got through saying. But let me look at a couple of chats here, see if we got anything new. Yes, sir, Cloud Chaser Radio. He says, another day of improvement sounds good. Sounds great. Sounds great. It's what you want, man. So let me get to the some of the little details about practice, who was in, who was out. And yes, we don't have Luther Burden again today. Day number 4, we no Luther Burden at all. We'll talk about that towards the end here, but I am definitely starting to be concerned now. It is no getting around it. This is something that I just don't know, man. But we'll get to that. So Darnell Wright out of practice today for rest. No issues whatsoever being reported. He just took a rest there. Let me see who else took. I think I want to say, okay, so some of the injuries that happened today don't sound like they're bad injuries, but Karan Amagaji took first team reps today, but he didn't finish the practice. He left with a trainer. Didn't sound like anybody was alarmed about any of that. And also Doug Kramer, he was taking second team reps with the offense today, and he left off the field. I don't know with a trainer or without one. Sounded like it was on his own power. Neither one of them, from what I'm hearing so far, sounded like anything to be concerned about, which is good, man. You know, attrition starts to build up for your team. You're gonna have guys in and out from time to time. It's good to know that we got some depth on this roster, so that, you know, when those situations come up, you got people that can replace them, and you don't feel like you're taking a step backwards. So that's a good thing. Shout out to Alan Kennedy, that just busted up in this piece. Shout out to you, bro. All right, let me continue to talk a little bit. And so let me see. Let me mark off some stuff so I'll remember where I went. It sounds like Ozzie Trapeel in the last couple of days is taking some lumps, and I don't mean in a physical way. I'm just talking about, you know, dealing with NFL pass rushers. And he's getting his ass kicked out there from time to time. Not saying that, you know, it's happening on a regular basis, but he's losing some reps out there, and it's to be expected. We called for that. You know, we said on the channel many times, you know, he's great. I mean, he performed great in college. Any guy that comes out of college is just coming to the NFL as a projection. So you want to see what this translates to when they get to this next level. And he's looking at different types of pass rushers. Now, we got a small variation of guys, but we mostly have big physical pass rushers. And so if he's struggling at all, it's probably power, you know, here and there. But, you know, Ozzie's a really stout guy, and he's got a good base on him and a good anchor. So I don't foresee that situation as far as power goes to be anything long-term for him. It might have been Dominique Robinson with a spin. It might have been a Daniel Hardy with some quickness. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know if anybody's given any details as to who was beating him and how, but I would imagine it's something like that. And so that was noteworthy. Let me see. Theo Benedict took first team reps because Darnell Wright wasn't here today. And so that's interesting to know, because I was curious as to who would get those second team reps with him. I thought, you know, a lot of people thought it would be Ozzie and Kieran, you know, swinging and going back and forth with that. But so far they haven't done that. They've kept them both on the left side, from what I understand. And Theo Benedict, my brother from another mother up there in Canada, Kids the Canuck, would love. He's gonna love to hear that when I tell him about that tomorrow on Nomad at Night. So by the way, make sure you guys tune in for that show tomorrow. I'm trying to see if we're going to have a guest there tomorrow. I need to check my Twitter account, someone I was communicating with that I think you all are familiar with. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that was noteworthy. Theo Benedict taking first team reps with Darnell Wright not there. Mark that out. I said Doug Kramer already. Kieran Amagaji, first team reps. Also, Colston Loveland logged his first kind of full. I don't know that he did anything beyond 7-on-7 from what I heard, but it was nice to know that he's out there getting a full practice in today, because we're going to need that guy out there on the field. And from all reports, just listening to CHGO just a minute ago, Adam Hogue and Carm were kind of raving about how good he looked out there. So that's what you hope for. When he got his chance to get on the grass and actually have limitations. You know what? I can't say that he doesn't have limitations. I'm sure he will. But today it was one of those days they kind of just let him go, and he sounded like he did pretty well. That's good news to hear. But everything will flush out in the end once the pads come on. We'll see exactly what we have in a couple of days here. But that's what I'm really, really looking forward to. But let me look and see what's in the chat. Got Crimson shouting everybody out. Yes, sir. Ben himself said it's not supposed to be easy. Hell no, you don't want it easy. Hell no. That's the last thing you want. Just because I want to see mistake-free football, I'm going to make it easy? No. We're going to welcome those mistakes and get in your ass when you ain't correcting what you need to correct and come back at you. That's what practices is all about. It's all about iron sharpening iron, skill against skill, will against will. You know, that's all practices are for. Getting you ready for real live performance. That's all it is. So absolutely right, Crimson. Squeegee says the Canadian Eagle flies with the ones. Bear down. Hell yeah. Kids is gonna love that. Shout out to Darius, man. I would love to have you here, D. I would love to have you here, man. You got to get with me, man. You got to get with me. Let me see. It's Crimson said, I don't know how much stock I will put in the CHGO's analysis, man. You know what? I don't put a lot of stock in CHGO's analysis. It's not that I have any problem with those guys over there, but I know, you know, depending on what they're discussing, like what I was listening for today, Crimson, was just basic stuff like who was on the field, who was taking reps against who, and things like that. When they start talking about how good they think this is and how good they think that is, I don't put too much emphasis on it, man, because I trust my own damn eyes. I trust my eyes, my ability to be able to evaluate what I see. And so when I hear certain things, I take it with a grain of salt, because I know, you know, until you get your eyes on something, you know, something could get a little exaggerated, and they may not know exactly what's going on out there all the time. So no shots at them whatsoever, but, you know, I trust my own eyes. So I'll only take that as far as I can take it, Crimson, just for the record. He said, Darius Morgan says, hey, folks, hope everyone's doing well. Shout out to everybody out here. Shout out to Darius Morgan. All right, so let me see. Let me say no shade at him, but that's not a football show. It's more football-themed variety show. Man, you know what, man? Whenever this is why, you know what, Crimson, this is why I've been trying my best to get support for the network without having to go to commercial means. That is that's like the thing I would hate to do. But the further and further we get into this, it's almost getting to the point where I don't feel like we have any other choice, because we need support. You know, if we can't get regular support, and I'm not, you know, people can only do what they can do. I'm not gonna, you know, browbeat anybody about, you know, who they donate their money to and how much they give to somebody. But in order to operate this channel and be fully functional, you do need some support, because it costs money to do it. You know, people just think you can just, okay, I'll give me a YouTube channel and give me a StreamYard account. That costs $100 a month by itself if you got the right kind of account. But other stuff that comes with it, apps and stuff that you have to do things with, man, all kinds of things. And so hopefully we got this. As soon as I'm off of here, I will get with kids and we're going to finish this website hopefully tonight. And it would be nice by tomorrow we get that thing up and running. We're just trying to figure out how best to make sure that people that are super nomaniacs get their membership discounts. And so it's seamless. So when you go to the website and you want to go grab a piece of merchandise, you're going to automatically see a discount. So we're just trying to get that kink rubbed out. And so when we get that kink rubbed out, I think we're ready to go. Hopefully we'll get that done today, man. Kez is doing a hell of a job with that website, man. We got some stuff kind of ironed out last night and try to finish it up today. But that's what I can tell you about the difference between a podcast like this and a podcast like CHGO. They got mega support. We have zero, other than you all. And so we just do the best with what we have. It's not that, like, I would match wits with anybody, any podcaster, anywhere, as far as knowing what this football stuff is about, identifying talent. I think I'm good enough to be inside Hallis Hall. Don't tell nobody that, but that's how confident I am in my eye for talent. But when it comes to pure football, ain't nobody matching us out here. They might have a flashier show with more guests and more people and more just resources. Yeah, that's that. But when it comes to the football, can't fuck with this. Just telling you, they cannot fuck with it. But that's another story for another day. Let's get back to it. Let me see what else we got in here. Darius Morgan says, day 4 in the book sounds like everyone is getting tested and doing a lot of work. Even the vets seem like, whoo, this is a lot of work. Yeah, that's what you want, man. Ain't no, just because you're a vet. I love the way they're setting this up and the standards they are creating out there. Ain't no vested veteran gonna get any less of the pressure and you're gonna get a kick in the butt too. We need everybody singing on the same chord, singing the same tune, bro. And so if we got to do sprints, we got to do up downs. Everybody's got to do them. And the veterans don't get no. You don't get put to the side just because you're a veteran. No, you got it too. We all got to play the game together. I like it like that. By the way, shout out to Darius Morgan. He says, "Yeah, man, your show deserves it. Do what you got to do to get out there more. It's too much good knowledge and real evaluation. Man, I so appreciate that. I know, Darius, I know that people know that. And they probably feel like it's a shame that we don't get enough attention. But you can't keep a good man down forever. We're gonna get where we need to be. I know we are. It's just a matter of time. I've been too good to people all my life, so I know I deserve it. And I know everybody else on the channel deserves it. I've been good to people my whole life, man, taking care of people. It'd be nice to see some gains and some support come this way, man. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll do what we need to do. Mike, shout out to Mike Pavlovich. Shout out to you, my guy, man. I haven't seen you in a while in the chat, but it's good to see you here right now. People go to CHGO to talk trash. We come to Nomad Network, talk ball. Hey, man, we talk plenty of trash over here too, Crimson, but we do not short you guys on the pure football, which is why I know what I know people really come here for. People get used to the personalities and grow accustomed to us and our personalities and how they go together. But I know deep down, I always tell kids and trips this all the time. I tell them, I said, man, we can never short these people on the pure football that they come here to talk about, the nuanced details of it, what this is and what that is, break it down, try to simplify things for them, because I know as a fan base, we come from a wide spectrum of football knowledge. I know everybody hasn't played the game, but they shouldn't be looked down upon or frowned upon because they haven't. They want to know stuff, so we teach them. And so that I pride myself in that. So shout out to you, Crimson, for that one right there. I rock with y'all too, Alan, man. I love you guys, man. You said you can't leave comments on the shorts, huh? I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. I have to take a look at that. It might be something with the YouTube channel that I might need to adjust for the community, that's what they call you guys in YouTube, the community, which is what we call you too, but might be something I can tweak there. I'll go take a look at it when I can, Crimson. I'll let you know. Darius Morgan says, I love what DA said about letting the players know they got to pay a toll to get the privilege of playing on this Bears defense. That's the key, man. That is the key. I told you guys before, I don't know if you were there on this show, Darius, but I was telling people before a couple of days ago that my nephew he's about a sophomore in high school now. He's playing linebacker, and been trying to spend some time, talking to him, teaching him some things that he needs to know, not like coachy, but just telling him little things about. And the next thing, I already know the next thing I'm gonna tell him. And he's trying to get on the field right now. You know what I mean? He got a bunch of upperclassmen in front of him. He just wants to get out there on the field. And I'm gonna tell him. I was like, if it's wiggling, hit it. That's what I'm gonna tell him. You got to be ultra aggressive out there. You got to be territorial as a linebacker. You got to play that way. You have to ooze that kind of energy. You have to be ultra aggressive, damn near mean. I ain't gonna say damn near. You got to be mean out there. You got to be physical. You got to be physical. You want to play in that defense, and you want them to respect you as a linebacker. You got to pay that toll. You got to make them notice you, bro. You got to make them notice you. Be ultra nasty out there. And so, to that point, the whole thing about them paying the toll. I get that. I can relate to that because you got to earn your keep. You want to play in this defense. You want to be known and be a star in this defense. It's every opportunity for you in the structure of this defense for you to shine. But in order for you to get there, you're going to have to pay that bill, Jack, just like everybody else. And I got nothing but respect for that. Nothing but respect. Shout out to Scrolls who just busted up in here. That's not usual for you, Scrolls. We don't see you until at night, man. But hey, good looking though coming through here, man. He says it's honeydew. He says, good. What's good, fellas? Just stopping through working on this honeydew list while wife is out of town, man, dude. I'm on honeydew list right now. As soon as I'm off this show, when I get through with kids, I still got stuff to do. So I feel you. Let me see. All right. I hear you, Mike. He said basic old school values that these men will learn. I mean, that's just it. When it comes to football, as complicated as some people will have you to believe it is, it's not very much. It's not very much. Really, at the end of the day, when you get through with the retention phase of learning whatever you need to do within the offensive structure or the defensive structure, everything else is about just pure want to. Pure grit, pure will. Everything else is that. Once you get done with the retention phase, remembering the things that you need to remember to function in that offense or defense, the rest of it is just will. How much you want it. And so that's the impression I'm getting from what Dennis Allen is putting down right now. And so let me get to some more of the stuff I got on here. I talked about Colston Loveland getting his first reps. Braxton Jones is still getting first team reps. And that's not changed the entire week. He's getting the first team reps every single day. And then once he gets off the field and goes back to working on his ankle and doing that kind of thing, they're back and forth with who's getting the first team reps after that. So today it was Kieran Amagaji, who again left early with some kind of injury, but didn't sound like it was severe or anything like that. Oh my God, man. Listen. The JP Richardson hype train has officially begun, you guys. I'm just telling you guys right now, for all the nomaniacs and super nomaniacs and everybody in this community that knows that Nomad was pounding the damn table about this the entire offseason since we got him, y'all know that. But everybody will try to stay claim to it, but y'all will know. Y'all will know. This guy had it. I saw it immediately, and he's showing up in this camp, man. He's a chippy football player, and I actually just got through watching the interview on CHGO they had with him because they talked to him, and he's a little pissed off because he's been overlooked his whole life. His whole life he's been overlooked, man, and he felt like he should have been drafted, which I think he has a skill set, and he should have been drafted somewhere around 4th, 5th round, maybe higher. I think this guy's skill set is tremendous, absolutely tremendous, and I think Declan Doyle the other day spoke on it, man. And he was talking about the same stuff I was telling you guys about how he stems his routes and finishes his routes. And that twitch to him, man. It is nice to see how polished this kid is coming from college. He's as good looking as a Danny Amendola or what's the other guy? Julian Edelman look when they were at their peak. That's how far I can go with it. I'll put another hot take on this. And people can feel how they want to feel about it. It has nothing to do with talent. This statement I'm about to tell you right now, he is a more complete receiver at this point in his career than Luther Burden. Luther Burden's good, pretty damn good, but this guy is even more polished. Doesn't have the speed as Luther Burden, but he's got damn sure got the quicks. I'm telling you, this guy they've got something here. I'm telling you guys right now, they got something in JP Richardson. Now it's going to be interesting to see once preseason starts how many opportunities they give him, whether it be playing X receiver or playing Z receiver. Of course, they're going to give him slot roles, but can he get out there on special teams and really stake a claim? They put him out there on kick return, punt return. I believe from looking at his tape, I think the best opportunity they give themselves because he's got such secure hands. He's a very secure catcher of the football. Putting him on punt return, I think would be ideal, in my opinion, because those are the flashiest plays that I seen on film for him were on the punt return because he has a lot of twitch to him. Stop and start ability is pretty good, man. He's got a nice skill set that I think is going to translate very well. And I'm telling you guys right now, the more Luther Burden misses football, the more opportunities this guy is going to get. He's just going to keep impressing people. I'm telling you guys right now, we stole one. We stole one. This kid I think he's the real deal. And knock on wood, as long as he remain healthy, I think he'll keep impressing everybody. So don't expect the JP Richardson hype to slow down. I think it's just going to get better and better as we go. I'm telling you, he's the real deal. Yeah, Darius. He probably does, man. Any coach, I know, Ben, as a coach, and you're looking at 90 players, you're trying not to show any kind of favoritism and give him a heads up like I'm kind of treat. Nah, you want to act like you don't know what's going on. And then when you get inside the building and you're meeting with your coaches and you're going over film, he's got to be like, oh shit, we got one here. This guy's nice. I know he's got some plans for him. So you're right, Darius. You know what, Mike? Mike asked what are his measurables? I don't know, strictly slot. I think he's about as polished a slot receiver as we have on the team. That's going to be his best role. Will they do some Z work and some X work with him? Who knows? I'm sure they'll throw him out here and give him some run at some point in the preseason. But he's taller than I thought he was. I thought he was somewhere around 5'8", 5'9". He looks more like 6'1" to me, maybe 6'2". Standing next to Adam Hogue. Adam Hogue is kind of long. He's about 6'1", 6'2". And he's about somewhere between 195, 200. I'm just looking at his body. He's somewhere in that neighborhood, or even heavier. I don't know. But he's a nice looking football player. Shout out to Minister Charles. Don Bird that just busted up in here. Talking shit as usual. Let me see. Ian Wheeler activated and practicing sounds like Mononga is impressing too. That's going to be a tough battle right there. I don't think Ian Wheeler's taking a backseat to nobody. When they put the pads on, I'm going to predict that Ian Wheeler might look better than Mononga. You heard it from me first. I'll stand out there I'll reach on out there and say that. I'm going to put my money on Ian Wheeler looking a little bit better just to be at odds with the people that love Kyle Mononga. It's not that I don't like him, but, I like a little challenge, man. Y'all quit letting Don bother y'all, man. He just talking shit. Wheeler is a nobody. Let me see. Shout out to One Cold Boy. Just busted up in here. Who else? Cornelius Squall, shout out to you, bro. King Booker World just busted up in this thing. Shout out to the King. All right, let me get to some more notes I got. Let me empty out these notes the best I can. All right, we're going to talk about some offense and some Caleb Williams stuff. Let me start where we need to start, and that is where I know Caleb Williams is and what they're probably dealing with from a day-to-day on. With Caleb Williams, when you're starting from the bottom up with a guy like that, number one, it's for a fact that he's okay playing shotgun. You know that. He's comfortable in that kind of situation, kind of playing no huddle, that kind of thing, tempo football. That's his comfort zone because that's what he did when he was at USC. He kind of ran the offense completely that way. Never got under center. And so what they're doing, and I hope, and this is for Caleb Williams' sake, I hope they don't back off of forcing him to be under center and playing a pro-style play action type of offense. It's going to help this team in the long run. Maybe not in the immediate future while he's struggling, but in the long run, Caleb Williams will be a better quarterback for learning that structural, fundamental football play. Under center, man, to be a good pro quarterback, you got to get under center. And so as comfortable as it is for him, I hope they keep their foot on the gas with him on it and don't just because he's struggling with it. And he is struggling with it. He is very much struggling with being under center. And, he's still struggling somewhat with the pre-snap operational part of it. And that is just, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff you don't want to have to keep dealing with from day in and day out. Apparently today was a little bit better than it's been in the first few days. but it's still a struggle. And you want to clean that up, man. As uncomfortable as it might be for Caleb Williams to play under center, he may not know at this point that it's for his own good, but I know, and anybody else that's watching enough football can tell you that's going to be a very key part of his growth is him being comfortable under there. And so right now, I tell you right now, the game is, everything is too fast for him right now. There's a lot being put on his plate, and things haven't slowed down quite as of yet. And I'll tell you why. Today is a particular kind of day for Caleb Williams because they were doing third down, distance, short distance, long distance. They were doing those kind of operations today. And so this is where it pays off for Caleb Williams to grow right here. This is particularly a Caleb Williams kind of day today for him to kind of grow. Why? It's because when you doing third down stuff, so much is predicated on what the quarterback reads, right? So what the quarterback sees on that defense, let's just say it's a 3rd down and 3, and they had a run play called in the huddle. Once he gets to the line of scrimmage, reading that defense and having a sense of what they're about to throw at you will make you call a check at the line of scrimmage. So you might have to check out of that and get into something that's going to help you out. That's why today is a particular kind of day for Caleb Williams. 3rd down, situational football is all on Caleb Williams. If they got a pass play in the huddle, and he gets to the line of scrimmage and reads it, okay, a cover 3 buzz or something like that. Okay, what do I want to do against it? Do I want to run straight at that and take this pass play away? Or I want to keep this pass play in because I think I got a mismatch with Colston Loveland here. Little things like that that's going on that when he blows that, when Ben Johnson blows that whistle dead and he goes to the sideline and talks that out with his coach, he's going to ask Caleb, what did you see there? Why'd you check out of that run and why'd you go to this? He needs to be able to with pure conviction tell Ben Johnson exactly what he saw and why he did it. Now, did that align with what Ben Johnson saw? That's where the coaching comes in. That's where the coaching comes in. So today was a particular day for growth for Caleb Williams that he needed to have. He needs to identify what that defense is trying to do to him and check out of stuff. 3rd down and those situational plays like that is so critical, you guys. The quarterback is more in charge than ever during that play because it's up to him if they don't have the right protection slid in place, the right call, checking out of that call. It's all up to Caleb Williams. The headset is off. It's all him. And everybody's taking his cues. So when you hear about 3rd down situational stuff going on in training camp, understand what that is. This is all Caleb Williams here. This is where he has to grow. From again, whether it's under center stuff that they were drilling today, or whether it was shotgun stuff they were drilling today. It's incumbent upon him to read what's in front of him, have the proper play dialed up for the team. So that's what you were dealing with today. That's what you're hearing about. Let me look at a couple of comments. He said, Cornell Bryan says, Caleb is clutch in these situations. He's clutch in, let's just say, 2-minute drill, I would say. 2-minute drill, sometimes with the clock against him when he has to be in tempo, Cornell, I would say. But 3rd down, he hasn't shown me yet that he can read, can dissect and kind of, he needs to be able to dissect what the defense is doing to him and get into the right play. I think he can master it. He can be clutch in those moments, but it's a difference between 2-minute drill and 3rd down. 2-minute drill, I think he is nice in that when he's kind of playing fast like that. But this ain't so much the same thing. But shout out to you, Cornell, for being in here. Crimson Dig, he says, got to know how to drive if you want to drive fast. That's absolutely right, bro. Absolutely right. King Booker World says, you know what I can't stand? Past few days wasn't up to par, but today improvement, and some folks got to leave with it wasn't perfect, but it will never be perfect. But give them credit. Give the damn man credit. I hear you, Crimson. What I'm doing is trying my best to break down what they were doing today. That's all. I'm just trying to break down. He needs to. They needed some growth today. They really did, man. Yes, sir. Belizean Bear. He says, and shout out to you. He says, Nomad Ben is generating manufactured pressure by design. Caleb is fine. Oh yeah, I'm not. Look, what I'm describing to you is the amount of looks that Dennis Allen is giving him, and what his responsibilities are at the line of scrimmage is something they're working on. Having him be able to read the defense and be able to dissect what's in front of him so he can get to the right play. It's just fundamental stuff, functional fundamental stuff that he is trying to get down as a young player. Every young player goes through it. Caleb is no exception to it. Nobody's putting him down at all. He's just going through a process right now. CHGO, I know. They can't help it, man. That's just how people are, man. I hear what you're saying, King. Don't worry about it. I know exactly what you mean. I'm doing my best to break it down, man. All right, so let me get to a couple more notes before I get out of here. Let me see. That's mainly it. You know, with Caleb Williams and some of the stuff that you're hearing about and why it's not glowingly positive all the time, I know it's because of what all the stuff that I just got through saying. It's the basics that you got to get. You got to knock those bowling pins down first. And that's just the pace of your cadence, getting your cadence out, getting to the line of scrimmage in a timely manner, not having pre-snap mistakes, reading the defense pre-snap, and having enough time to kind of, you don't want to get down to the last 2-3 seconds before you figured all that out. And right now, everything is just moving a little bit fast for him. If you can understand that, because I say things are moving fast for him, that doesn't mean he's a slow individual. He can't learn. No, it's just new for him. He's operating in a way that's not conventional for him. He's used to operating in a certain way in a fast up-tempo offense in USC where he didn't have to huddle. He received sideline cues for him to run whatever play that they were running to erase that muscle memory and to replace it with fundamentally pro-style offense, playing under center, using a lot of play action. That is something that any guy that's been doing something for a long time is going to have to get used to. That's not a shot against him. That's just the facts. He's going to have to get used to playing a pro-style offense. Period, point blank. He's getting there. He's getting there. He wanted it. He wanted it. If you want it bad enough, you have to accept the coaching, and you got to be okay with ironing those kinks out. And reps are the king. The only way you get those kinks ironed out is replace that muscle memory with a new one. And that's all it is to it. Replace that muscle memory with a new one. Don't get frustrated about it. Know that you're going to struggle, and don't kick yourself in the ass too hard about it because it's normal. So I'm over here telling you that Caleb Williams is going to be fine. He's starting to make some gains, and he should be starting to make some gains at this point. And he should be starting to look a little bit better at day 4. He should. And he should build on those and gain on that. Tomorrow not tomorrow, but I think they'll be back in the building Monday. Whenever they get back on the field again, it should look even better. And so the less and less we have to talk about, the fundamental, pace of pre-snap operations, the better. When you start hearing less and less of that, Caleb is really taking a step. Now he's getting to the point where he's just basically out there dissecting what the defense is trying to do to him, and he's focused on that. Now he's got the time and getting in and out of the huddle, getting the guys to the line of scrimmage, getting checked out of stuff, checked in the stuff. All that stuff will be like normal stuff in him. But right now it's abnormal because it should be. He hasn't done it before. So I'm just trying to get you guys on the same page as far as that goes, so that you're not, whatever other podcasts you listen to, whatever people are talking about elsewhere, that's their business. My job is to break it down. And if you hear about struggle, explain to you why it is. Or if you hear about gains, explain to you why that's happening too. So that's what I pride myself in doing, making sure you guys can understand what's going on. And so that's what I got for today, man. I appreciate you guys for being here. It was cool. I only had so many notes to talk about because I only had so so much time to get them together. But shout out to my guy Darius, who I hope to talk to soon. Darius Locke, I hope to talk to you soon, man. And everybody that came in the chat today, man, appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. Of cost you free 99, nothing. So hit that thing, man, and support us, man. Anything you guys can do to help support the channel financially, we would appreciate it. You see the Cash App at the bottom of the screen. You can send it that way, or you can send a super chat. Anything you can do would absolutely help us, and we would appreciate it. But love you guys. Make sure you guys show up tomorrow for Nomad at Night. We're going to have fun like we always do and talk some football like we always do. And so until then, I want to leave you guys with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, I am